Thanks for joining us, Nikki. That was a 2-2 draw there with Lewes. What are your thoughts on the game?
I'm relieved to still be in the cup, to be honest, and I didn't think I'd be feeling like that at half time, certainly, but kind of where we are at the moment. Can't keep a clean sheet, can't keep our discipline, can't keep our structure, and yeah, plenty to think about, that's for sure.
You mentioned they're not keeping a clean sheet, and it's obviously disappointing to give away a 2-goal lead. Do you think we just switched off at key moments there?
Yeah, again, people not following instructions, people doing what they want to do instead of what we're telling them to do, and the end result will be clear. We've made certain changes this week. I'd like to have made more changes. I don't like what I saw in pre-season, and I don't like what I've seen at the start of the season. So, players from last year had credit in the bank because they've done well for the club last year, but you're only as good as your last game, you're only as good as your last performances, and we've not been good enough this season. That's me included, coaching staff, players. We've lost that resilience, we've lost that backbone, and I think players have become too comfortable. And we need to shake it up because I'm not enjoying sitting in the dugout at the moment, that's for sure.
On a more positive note, obviously you brought in Tommy Wood and Callum Driver returned here. They both had solid debuts. What do you think of their performances today?
You can see a difference it made having a bit of a physical presence up there. It's not for the lack of trying all pre-season at the start of the season. We've tried to bring someone in with a presence to replace obviously Sean Okoji from last year. It made a difference, so we're delighted to have Tom in. Didn't think he'd be available, but he was, so we're obviously grateful to have AFC Women. Obviously we had Callum on loan last year from Dartford, and know what he's about. Just a case of trying to get a bit more experience in the team, a bit more mettle. And like I say, the young boys last year did well. They were a credit. Their intensity and their desire was high, and no coincidence that got us good results. And I'll say it, and I'll keep saying it. The minute you use your intensity and your drive and your attitude and your application, you're kind of finished. And we haven't had enough of that. And again, I'll self-reflect because that's no wins in 7 games, and we had that game won at half-time today, and we didn't see it out. And I think the biggest disappointment for me is last year. I keep talking about last year. As soon as we went 1-0 up against teams in that second half of the season, it was game done. We could keep clean sheets, we could all dig in, we could be resilient, and we've lost that at the moment, and we need to get it back.
We look really threatening from set pieces today, and obviously we've got both our goals, Jerry's headers as well. Is that something that's been worked on in training?
No more so than usual. I think you just sometimes, Jerry. I always say to Jerry, should get double figures each season. He's a good threat in the box. Obviously delighted to score from 2 set plays today, but we need to start scoring more goals from open play as well. If you look at the goals he's scored from set plays and penalties this year, it's been a high percentage of the goals that we've scored. So we need to be more resilient at the back, more of a cutting edge up front, and have a bit more character and intensity in the middle of the park.
And then just finally, obviously we go for the replay at Lewes on Wednesday. Are you confident that we can pick up a result there?
Well, if we're playing, if I say it every week, if our players play to their capabilities, we're more than a match for anyone at our level. If they don't turn up in the right frame of mind, we'll get beat. It's as simple as that. People can talk about managers and coaches, but at this level we get limited time to work with the players. It's about the attitude and application of the players. When they go over that white line, if they haven't got that desire and that hunger, you're no good to no one. And we want to be in the hat. The club's had 2 good cup runs the last 2 years. We want another one. But like I said to the boys for the game, if you want a good day out, you want exposure in the FA Cup. FA Cup changes non-league players' lives every year. You've got to win games like this today. You've got to be in that first, second round draw. And today we were the width of a post from being out, from in a position where I thought that we were done and in the hat. So a lot of reflections needed. And like I say, I've not been happy with a lot of what I've seen. And it's for me to obviously get it right.